Anthony Martial era comes to an end at the club of Manchester United, and it's been one of those moments that those that are really gonna hate to enjoy him, looks like this season is gonna be the last for the fans of Man United to enjoy Anthony Martial at Old Trafford. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? This is already onto the United Matters channel. As well, call me Rock and David onto this beautiful channel of ours as we discuss Donny van de Beek, new favorites that I've gonna hate to show upset it that obviously want to sign this player and take him for good in there for you. And Erik ten Hag is gonna hate to throw a very huge hint to everyone who really doesn't believe in him that he's here to stay and he thinks he's going to turn things around at the club of Man United. So we thank God for the gift of life. How are you guys? It's a Tuesday and we are really here to bring you the latest news coming in from Manchester United stories. And David Austin this time round has been really at the forefront of this, and he told us that exclusive, Manchester United do not intend to activate option to extend Anthony Martial's contract. Current deal expires in 2024 plus 1 year. Barring change of plan of 20-year-old or the 28-year-old will exit Man United as free agent next summer unless suitable offers arrive in January. So Man United are not willing to obviously offer a very to extend that 1 year of Anthony Martial. And I really expected such stories to start popping up because the moment we got linked to Girosi, that VfB Stuttgart striker that was going to hit obviously score, I think it's 16 goals, in the league of the Bundesliga, I got to know that Anthony Martial's time at Man United is over. Because if you go ahead and really extend his contract, right, to all for 1 more year, that means he's earning £250,000 a week. That takes it to £1 million a month. Multiply it by 12 months. Those are £12 million. And can I ask you, what is the cost of Girosi? The cost of Girosi is 17 million pounds. So that means 12 million pounds you're going to have to save after really denying Anthony Martial a contract can really see you get close to how much? Can really see you get close to 5 million pounds, right? Addition, and then you get this player. And I think the only way I'm going to be happy for this deal is when they don't let Anthony Martial go out on a free. I don't want that to happen. I think they can obviously find out a team that can offer us some money in the January transfer window, maybe 10, 15 million pounds or 20 million pounds. And then we use that same amount of money to take it to Stuttgart to get in Girosi. I think that would be the best move because Girosi is a Premier League tailored player because of his height, his physique, and trust me, his play with back to goal is really nice and he's not an injury prone player. And the reason as to why Anthony Martial is being really shown the exit door by Erik ten Hag, it's all about him being an injury prone player, something that Erik ten Hag doesn't really want to see, This season I was going to hate to obviously maintain him fit, and I think I was going to hate to start how many games. He started against Arsenal, he started against Newcastle, he started against Bournemouth, and he's not really getting injured. I think also started against Everton, right? Yeah, he started against Everton. So he has going to hit to have like 5 starts this season, and most of the times has been coming off the bench. But Erik ten Hag has found a way to manage him a little bit better when he's not really getting injured. And I think it's really intended that they really see to it that they get him some 70 minutes, some 30, such that in the January transfer they can sell this player. That is it. But if at all this club of Man United cannot extend the contract of the lad and they are willing to keep him until the summer, then that would be the worst business ever that United would have gone ahead to be doing. And I don't think that Sir Jim Ratcliffe will obviously allow such a player like Anthony Martial to leave the club on a free, because this was done very many times by Ed Woodward, Richard Arnold, and John Mata, because we had players that we could obviously sell and get some good amount of money, but we kept them here. For example, Jesse Lingard, in the January of 2022, with 6 months left, teams like Newcastle came in through and made a pledge of £30 million, and United failed to obviously get that money. They would have gone ahead to get that money in, and after getting that money in, it would have gone ahead to help United in the summer transfer window. of Erik ten Hag, because 30 million pounds, if we went ahead to obviously offer it to the side of PSV, Cody Gakpo would have come on alongside the guy himself, that is Anthony and Casemiro. But we never had money to spend on Cody Gakpo, and that's why Cody Gakpo found himself really going there. So you see to it that when you let out players to go out on a free, like Paul Bile Pogba, you know, a player you bought in 95 million pounds and you let him go out for the free, you know, it is really, 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 really unbecoming. So I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe will find a better way to see to it that we obviously kill off this transfer and see how we can obviously make some good sense out of it. And the big problem is, even if you really extend the contract of Anton Martial, you know, he will obviously want not to take a salary reduction. And I think this clear out is also having what we call a financial eye, because when you look at the list of players that Man United want to get rid of in January, that is going to have to be really put out. We look at Casemiro, although I really doubt that they can obviously let him out, because for me, he's worth the amount of money he earns according to how he played last season. And I think this season, he's obviously going to return back very fit and ready to obviously take us in the last half of the season. He earns £350,000 a week. Rafael Varane earns £300,000 a week. Anton Martial, £250,000 a week. Jadon Sancho earns £350,000 a week. Now, if you can get out those 4 players and get in players that you're obviously going to give £150,000 a week, it will act better in the financial fair play system. For example, for Anton Martial, you'll be saving £100,000 per week. For Sancho, you'll be saving £200,000 a week. That is 300. Even for Casemiro, you'll be saving £200,000 a week. That is £500,000. And for Rafael Varane, you'll be saving £150,000 a week, meaning that you'll be saving £650,000 a week. And if at all you get 600, let's get the calculator in here. Calculator, where are you at? 65123 times 52 weeks that make up a year. You would have gone ahead to save £34 million. So it shows you how we are really having a huge wage bill that we need to manage better. But for me, I love Anton Martial, but if at all it's time for him to leave and the likes of Giroud are coming in through, let him leave. Let him leave. And the door is widely open for him. And I think he has had his career at the club of Man United. He has been here since 2015. Those are close to 8 years. And what he has gone ahead to do, he has gone ahead to do it. And what he hasn't gone ahead to do, he'll never do it at this club. So we wait and see how that happens. But let's go to Donny van de Beek. Donny van de Beek is a United player that you all know. He came in through for 40 million euros coming in from Ajax in the summer of 2020 under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's been struggling with what and where he's going to be playing at, but finally he has gotten a team that might be really taking him. Frankfurt are leading the rest to sign Donny van de Beek on loan from Man United, right? And talks are advancing. Girona have also asked for Donny van de Beek on loan, but are offering different conditions at this stage. Time for decision soon. Donny will leave Man United. So one thing I want us to do as a club of Man United is to let players like Donny van de Beek go, because you can tell me that a player like Donny van de Beek is at Man United with his quality and is not playing, and we are paying him £140,000 a week. That's abysmal. You cannot really allow such things to be happening at the club of Man United. If you know exactly what this is all about, it's all about really having the right players that earn the right money at the club of Man United, and those players doing what they're supposed to be doing. And for now, Donny van de Beek is really one of those that you really want to see leave, because Ten Hag doesn't trust him. He wants him out of the team. And why should you keep him around? If the manager said, I don't want him in my team, then let him go. And the moment a manager that was working with a player previously before we signed him comes out and says he has failed to meet my expectations, then it's a confirmation that this player is not obviously going to be useful to the team of Man United. So we look at Frankfurt. They're really doing great. They've gone ahead to obviously beat Bayern Munich by 5-0. You know, Frankfurt, you know, Frankfurt went ahead to beat Bayern Munich by 5-0 over the weekend, and it really resulted into them having some huge boost in there for you with 14 games played, and they're having 21 points in the German Bundesliga. But he might obviously come in through and obviously say, I want to go to Girona, because Girona over the weekend went ahead to beat Barcelona by 4-2, and the La Liga table has Girona leading the table with 41 points. So I think Donny van de Beek will obviously want to go on and really play for a side that is competing for the trophy and might be playing in the Champions League next season. That is it. So I think if at all I'm Donny van de Beek, I go to the La Liga. I go to the La Liga and do my stuff there, because no one is obviously going to stop me from always thriving because of the talent you have. And for Man United, we would have gonna hit two birds with one stone. If he goes to Girona, gets enough playing time, trust me, he'll become one of those players that will obviously be playing game in, game out, and playing for the team that is leading the La Liga table obviously puts you in the spotlight, and every team will obviously want to come in through and obviously sign you. So when it comes out and signs you, then we can get like 30 million pounds from Donny van de Beek, provided he has some good six months at Girona. So a decision is up for him to make. Now there are offers on the table, but I think the Girona the Girona deal is really up, and I think I'd do justice to this guy. Then Erik ten Hag has said, I've already been a long-term manager. It's not always sunshine. It's like life. It's about the final picture. So Ten Hag is trying to obviously talk to the people that really believe he cannot turn around this season. And trust me, today as we take on Bayern Munich, it's very important in Erik ten Hag's career at the club of Manchester United. If he goes ahead and puts in a very good shift today, then the rest will be history, and a lot will be happening at Man United. You know, sometimes there are games you need to beat. You know, for me, I want us to stay in Europe, because when we win, it's going to be a sure day that we're obviously going to be staying in Europe, whether in the Champions League or in the UEFA Europa League, the better, because teams like Galatasaray versus Copenhagen, if they draw and we win, then we'll go to the next level of the Champions League. But if one of those wins and we win against Bayern Munich, we'll go into the UEFA Europa League, where I really want to see our players really thrive there, because we have a very big squad, by the way. You know, the likes of Amad Diallo need time, you know, Facundo Pellistri, and very many others. And we need to be competing at that level such that we get in money that can help us really compete in the summer transfer window and contribute to the financial fair play. So having played in the Champions League will be something great, and I think it's obviously going to get back. Arsenal have gone ahead to consider Equalizer coming in from PSV, and it's 1-1 for now. So thank you guys for watching through. Rokan David remains my name. Your reactions to Martial era over at Man United are welcome in the comment section below. Donny van de Beek, what team would you like him to go to? Girona in the La Liga or Frankfurt in Bundesliga? And lastly, what do you make about Erik ten Hag's words? They're going to direct to people thinking that he's an amateur at the job. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. I'm out. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum.